Hare Krishna. So today I wanted to get on here and talk about revisit and relish the memories of Govardhan Hill, Krishna's pastime. So Krishna is our supreme personality of Godhead who came in his original form as Krishna about 5,000 years ago in a small town, in a small village called Vrindavan in India. And during his time on earth, he did many pastimes that um, that are honored in his name. So one of them is the Govardhan Puja, and it's done on the fourth day of Diwali. Diwali is basically good over evil, a festival of lights that comes in around the month of October, November-ish, around that time. And this past week, we've been celebrating Diwali, and on the fourth day, we celebrated Govardhan Puja. So I guess it would be nice, I thought, for us to, um, um, I guess, talk about the memories, talk about his pastime, relish his pastimes, and honor him for it. So Govardhan is a mountain that still exists today in India. So at the time, 5,000 years ago, when he did come down on earth, people of Vrindavan, these are like Gahod families. Like they didn't have like fancy houses or anything. This is like a small village where people lived on basically farming and had cows and things like that. So Krishna was a Gahod boy, and he had his friends. He was little at the time. He was during this pastime, he was about 11 years old, and he would go with his coward friends, little boys, to the Vrindavan mountain, to with his cows, to to let the cows graze and eat grass, and all of that. So while the cows during the day are doing their own thing, Krishna and his cowherd friends, boys, would enjoy themselves, like enjoy each other's company by playing, and all of the other stuff. So so Govardhan, so people of Vrindavan relied on Govardhan for it gives them, first of all, the cows. It lets them to it feeds their cows. They rely on cows for milk, and they use cows and their animals in farming. That helps them to grow their grains, and ultimately gets them the food that they need. Back then, animals were used in farming. Unlike now, we have all these machines. So basically, the pastime goes like this: is that once upon a time, all the people of Vrindavan come together to perform sacrifice, austerity sacrifice. They hold a ritual, a ceremony to honor King Indra. Now, King Indra is is the demigod for rains, because they want to do this to honor him because they think that without rains, their farming, their grains won't grow, and with no grains, they don't get the food. So that year, uh, they wanted more rains, and they had more rains, enough sufficient rains, and to want more rains in the future, they want to honor King Indra, and to be grateful and to thank him for his blessings. So that's why they hold this ceremony, this ritual, the sacrifice, the fire sacrifice, to honor him. And then Krishna, who's just a little boy, he sees that. So bear in mind, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in this Hindu, what do you call it? In this in this philosophy, Krishna is the topmost, and under him, we have these demigods who have been given charge of a department, like a demigod of fire, a demigod of rains, a demigod of I can't think of more names here, but you get the point. I'm saying is we have different demigods for different things, for different activities, and all of these demigods basically get their instructions, their orders from this boss called Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So who had come down in his original form as this little boy, this little cowherd boy playing in Vrindavan. So Krishna sees the ceremony that's being held, and all the people of Vrindavan getting ready, decorating the ceremonial stage and getting ready to bringing in so many sacrificial things to start the ceremony, to start the fire sacrifice. And then he goes up to his dad, whose name is Nanda Maharaj. He was like the head, the king of that little town. And he goes up to his dad at the time, and he's like, well, why are we doing this sacrifice for for King Indra? Should we be praying to Lord Vishnu, who is incarnation of Krishna himself? Because Krishna or Vishnu is the topmost, is the boss of King Indra, and King Indra is getting his orders from Krishna, the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu himself. So why are we praying to King Indra? And then the dad explains to Krishna that because we rely on King Indra to get the rains that we need, and without rains, our crops won't grow, and with no crops, we won't get the food that we need. And as cowherd or as farmers, we rely on farming to get the food. And so Krishna further explains to his dad and to all the villagers that it's true that we do rely on rains, but where is King Indra getting his orders from? He's getting his orders coming down from Lord Vishnu, Krishna himself. So So should we, and not only that, not only he's getting orders from Vishnu or Krishna himself, but also is that he talks about how Govardhan Hill is providing all the necessities, like when we take the cows for grazing. Well, he talks about 2 points. One is King Indra getting his orders coming down from Lord Vishnu himself. So instead of King Indra, we should be praying to Lord Vishnu, like offer your sacrifices onto him, to Lord Vishnu, and not King Indra. And then he talks about how we should thank Govardhan Hill, because Govardhan Hill is providing us with all kinds of fruits, and also it lets us take our cows for gazing in the mountains. So if we have good cows who are able to provide milk and other help, we can use them in our farming activities. And if it wasn't for them, then we won't be able to grow our crops and grains, and so we need to direct our what do you call it, our sacrificial ceremony, not to King Indra, but to the Govardhan Hill and to Lord Vishnu himself. So when King Indra, he was watching all this. So when King Indra heard this, he was very much he was angry, like how dare Krishna is asking the people of Vrindavan to stop their ceremonial sacrifice, which was meant for him, and direct that to someone else, to Govardhan Hill. That's not even a real person. It's just a mountain, and you're directing your ceremony, your sacrifice to a earth, to a mountain. Like, how does that make any sense? And Krishna is in the heart of every human being. We are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of God himself. So he knows what each of us are thinking and feeling at the moment. So he did this. Krishna is redirecting his family and the people of Vrindavan to Lord Vishnu and to Govardhan Hill, because he understood that King Indra is being puffed up with about his role. He knows, and he understood that King Indra has this ego has a sense of pride and ego about himself, that he is so great, and that he is so better and so powerful than everyone else. And to crush his pride, to crush his false ego, he wanted to teach King Indra this lesson, and he is doing this to be able to get him to come down in his ego, come down to earth, and not be all puffed up about his position as the demigod of rains. So when King Indra heard about this, he was really mad. he was mad and upset to see that the villagers of Vrindavan, they are taking Krishna's advice, who was only 11 years old at the time, who was taking Krishna's advice, and they had stopped the ceremony, the sacrificial ceremony for him that was meant for him, and that they are directing his the ceremony for the Govardhan hill, and to Lord Vishnu. So they were basically taking all the grains, all the food that they had prepared this far, and they were offering to this mountain. And when he saw that, when King Indra saw all of this activities going on, he was so mad that he instructed his people to destroy Vrindavan. So he gave orders to his the people under him to go and destroy Vrindavan. Like, pour lots of rain, thunder, storms, winds, all kinds of stuff to destroy Vrindavan and the lives of its people, so that they know how powerful King Indra is, because he has this ego about, I am so strong, I am so powerful, I am so much better than everyone else. He has that ego on, and he wanted to let the people of Vrindavan know that. So that's why he goes, that's why he gives all this instruction to his men to go destroy Vrindavan and the lives of people by pouring in lots of rain and floods and winds and just uprooting their houses and everything. He put them to a place of fear. He wanted to create fear in the hearts of the people of Vrindavan, because they redirected their ceremonial sacrifices to a mountain, instead of worshiping him on the direction of Krishna, the little boy Krsna, who was 11 years old at the time. And when all of this was happening, when he was pouring in lots of rain and winds and floods, and they were watching their houses getting uprooted from the ground, and lots of floods and all of these things, they were so scared. All the people of Vrindavan, they came to Krishna because they knew that Krishna is going to protect them, and he is not going to let harm come onto his people. So Krishna tells the people of Vrindavan to not fear. King Indra will not touch you. So in order to give shelter to his people, he lifts up the Govardhan hill on his pinky. This little pinky. As human beings, you can imagine what we could do on this little pinky. So basically, he lifts up Govardhan hill on his little pinky, and you could see in the pictures, and this mountain still exists to this day. And King Indra's torture goes on for days and nights. And while he is lifting up his pinky, all the people of Vrindavan, the entire village, comes down under one roof of this mountain. So this mountain is not only provides them with food and helps their cows with their nutrition, but also now during this attack from King Indra, basically it's also giving them the protection, the shelter that they need. And basically the attack goes on for so many days and so many nights that during all this time, this little boy, Krishna, who is 11 years old at the time, is able to pick up the entire mountain, the entire big giant mountain on his little pinky. And he's been standing there for days and nights until King Indra's comes to his senses. So after so much time, King Indra is like, how can this be? Who is this little boy? And how is he even protecting his people? Like, this can't be real. And that's when he comes to his understanding that this little boy, this little Krishna, is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his boss himself, who has come down in the form of a little boy, Krishna, to give pleasure to his devotees, to give pleasure to the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So after he understood that, he came down to his knees and begged for forgiveness from Krishna, that he has been such a fool to think that he was so much better, that he was so much powerful than anybody in this entire universe. So after he came down to his senses, Lord Krishna forgave him and basically saved the lives of people of Vrindavan. And that's why to this day we still worship and honor Govardhan Hill in his memory. So yeah, so this was, I'm sorry, it's getting a little dark out here, but yeah, basically so that's why during the ceremony, we, just like at the time how people of Vrindavan basically took redirected all their ceremonial sacrifice to the Govardhan Hill by taking all their food grains and all their wonderful preparations to the mountain. We on this day, on the Govardhan day, the Govardhan Puja, we create lots of food preparations, a lot of prasadam, and we make it, we decorate it in the form of, I guess, a mountain, because it's a form of offering to the mountain, making all these wonderful preparations to offer it to the Govardhan Hill. So that's why in the pictures, in the video, you see all the food stuff, all the food preparations stacked up in a mountain. Yeah, so basically, so that's the Krishna Leela pastime I wanted to share, and just to relish and to bring some memories back. So let me know what do you think about this pastime. I'm sorry if I talk too much on here, and I know it's it's a little dark now too. So yeah, but let me know what do you think about this pastime, and if you have any further thoughts. So would love to hear back from you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.